Yo, what? Okay, 1 second. Yo, we're looking at a trade. We're not in a trade. We're looking at one. We're looking at two of them right now. Give me 1 second before we get started. I've just got to start the TikTok live stream, right? Once I've started that, we're good to go. So if I just... Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Yo, Giovanni, Powell, Elizabeth, Adil, Terry, Carol, Rick, Wayne, FX, Alexander, Payne, Ronald, Mike, Matt. How's it all going, guys? How are you all doing? We are looking at a setup. Hello, everyone on TikTok. How is everyone doing? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? Hey, guys. How is everyone doing? Can you all hear me? Hey, Mark, Juan, Sarah, Christoph, Stefan, Janice, Rodrigo. Hello, guys. How are you all doing? Good afternoon, Dan. GBP CAD short. We are looking at GBP CAD shorts. Oh, wow, we are. By the way, guys, if you guys are on TikTok and you want to watch the stream, just go to my YouTube channel. The link's in the description. Link's in my bio, sorry. I'll take it directly to my Discord where you can see my stream. Got the Feynman IFG on GBP CAD, but looking like a technical close on mine. Yeah, that is a technical close, to be fair. If we get the IFG here, though, we could enter the trade. We'll have to give it another, 9 minutes and see how that goes. Bitcoin is respecting that imbalance that we've drawn up before. So it may, just continue up, but we're not in a trade yet. We're looking at sells on Bitcoin. The bias is actually kind of bearish now. We are also looking at sells on GBP CAD. We've got the IFG, I think, but it is a technical close. The next candle has got 30 minutes left, 24 minutes left, sorry, and the 15 minute has 9 minutes left. So realistically, we want to wait for this to close. But you right, JK, how's it going? Curtis, Duncan, Mark, C Smith Fitness, GJ buys. I'm not seeing buys. There is the IFG here, but it goes against the bias. And that's if we get the IFG. We haven't even closed the candle yet. Hey guys on TikTok. We are we're looking at a trade at the moment. We are looking at, what is it? Bitcoin sells, right? And obviously GBP CAD sells. If you want to see me enter the trade, all you have to do is go to the link in my bio, which is my Discord server. Just hit 10k members as well. Is ICE worth it for GBP CAD? The wicks are mental. Probably not. I'm fine with Owanda, to be honest. Is ICE... Does ICE... Does that have a... Does that have an IFG, like a proper one? No. To be fair, it does on the 30. I wouldn't call that a technical close. Come on, Marcus. Yeah, if you're on TikTok and you want to watch the actual trade that I'm taking, go to my bio. There's a Discord server there, and you'll get the link to my YouTube stream. But all you can do here is we can just talk about the setups. But I can't actually show you me taking them because I'm banned from doing that for some reason. But I can do a normal stream. Right, so with this close here, we could take it if we were trading ICE, but I'm not trading ICE, so I'm just going to base it on what I actually can see and what I was looking at, which was Owanda. I think if we wait for the 15 minutes to invest this imbalance here, we could just take that trade. It'd be a slight bit risky, you know, because we'd have 15 minutes left that we could just bounce straight up off of the fair value gap and respect it, and then I wouldn't be surprised that, you know, I'd go, well, that's the reason we lost. But we could take that. I don't think it'd be too risky. The stop loss is definitely a bit of a stretch because you should be putting it up here, but that gives us a 0.7 even if we get a full TP all the way down to here, right? So if we just put it above this high here instead, although there's no imbalance in the way of that, you know, it's pretty, it's not too bad. Bitcoin is pushed up and took out these highs now. Okay, this is good because if it's mitigated this imbalance, right? If it forms one with this candle, this could be the expansion candle here, right? Taking out these highs, which does make everything bearish now, rather than just the majority of things bearish. It makes everything bearish. So if we took out these highs, if we can just get this fair value gap validated and then inverse it, but that's going to be as quick as 30 minutes to do that, right? Because we push up with this expansion candle in 5 minutes close, then another 15, we kind of validate the fair value gap, and then another 15 after that, we inverse it. So literally, as quick as possible, it would take like 30 minutes, 35 minutes from now. And we don't really want to be waiting that long, but we can look for a setup. Now we've got a proper setup here, especially, you know, with this, you could even just like kind of count all of this as the accumulation, which would be pretty valid as well, I guess. If you are on TikTok, by the way, and you want to see me taking these trades, you want to see the analysis I'm looking at right now on my screen, go to my Discord, which is in my bio. Right, little legs, how's it going? Chill music. Bro, in GBP JPY, are the daily rates bullish? Do you mean bias? I'd say the daily's pretty bearish. The daily's bullish, I guess. But the 4 hour needs a retracement first. The 4 hours got no bottom wick. The daily's got no bottom wick. And the 4 hour has took out some highs. It needs to come back to this imbalance that we've labelled right here. What do you think about GBP JPY buys if this 5 minute inverses against the daily, but respecting 4 hour and 1 hour? GU. Can you show us how to find your daily bias, please, mate? I'm watching on YouTube. Yes, I do have a video about that actually. If you look on my YouTube channel and just go to videos, you'll scroll down and there's like a green thumbnail that says how I find my daily bias on a daily basis. I can show you it right now, but if you want more in depth, go on that video after the stream finishes. But let's just have a look at this. So Louis said GU looks good for buys. It does go against this. There is a 4 hour imbalance respected though. That is right. We are respecting a 4 hour imbalance. So and a 1 hour. Bit of a small fair value gap, but we could take this. I was looking for sells before, but we could take this, I guess, if we're getting that 1 hour fair value gap being respected. Do you have any criteria that guide you when choosing currencies to trade? When I was looking to trade, when I was looking like to find something to trade, because what I'd learned when I was a beginner was basically that you need to kind of find one thing to trade and just trade that one. And then when you get profitable, however you trade, then that's when you can start, you know, venturing out to other pairs that aren't really correlated. That's why you don't see me trade GU, EU, and USD Swiss franc at the same time. I take one of them, right? But more importantly, the way I found GBP JPY, which is what your question was basically I just looked at what moved the most. On average, GU and GBP JPY are the top two moving pairs, right? They move the most out of all the other Forex pairs. I think this study was 2021, might be a bit, maybe 2023, but 180 pips, I think, GJ moves on average per session. That can just be a range of like 18 pips, just going back and forth 10 times, right? But it moves the most out of any other Forex pair most of the time. GC, technical close on 15 min. Yeah, could be a technical close. Let's see how this next minute goes. If you're on TikTok and you want to watch the full stream, go to my bio and you can see my actual trade entries. Here you can just see me talking about the setups that I'm taking to my YouTube stream. But I'm currently live on YouTube, trading. 14 trades, no losses. Haven't lost a trade this month. Haven't lost a trade in 3 weeks. Every single trade taken live or with the Discord. But if you're on TikTok, link in bio, right? You can see me take my trades. Here you are, bit of a push down. A40. Getting a bit of a push down here, to be fair. 9 seconds left on this. Tell you what, let's take this. Oh fuck, how am I going to take it? I'm live on TikTok. Oh shit. Can I do my stream? What's going off the app? I think I can. Hey Nicole. Does it say live pause when I go off the app? Oh, thanks for the gift there, Nicole. You didn't have to do that. We're looking at GBP CAD right now. The 50 minutes just obviously closed below. But I'm trying to take a trade and I don't know if I can whilst I'm on stream. Right, GBP CAD. Right, so it would look something like this: 1.2 average, 1.2 risk to reward ratio, or probably a bit higher to be fair, 1.34. We haven't talked liquidity yet. Let's just hold down a sec. So let's just hold on a sec, right? If we're about to take sells on GBP CAD, where are we going to manage the trade? Here, right? That even though there's liquidity here, we can't really manage the trade anywhere else. If we form a fair value gap here, tell you what, let's just get into this trade right now. Right, I'm in. I am in the trade. Right, we're in the trade. We're in a trade on GBP CAD. If you want to see me, if you want to see the entry, see me manage the trade, go to the link in my bio if you're on TikTok. We are in a trade right now. A little bit of a late entry, it was like around here or something, wasn't it? Now, if the fifth, now this is a little bit of a weird trade because we do technically still have a 30-minute being kind of almost respected, right? But if we get a follow through on this candle in the next 12 minutes, you can see we've got 12 minutes left or 30 minutes left on this candle. If we get a follow through and actually like continue down and get an obvious close below the imbalance here, you know, we did get a technical, but if this is an obvious close now, then we can keep that. If we reverse and go back inside it, then we're going to close the trade completely, okay? So if we end up closing the trade, let's say like right here, instead of risking 43.4, we'd be risking 14. So it kind of puts a third. So we'd lose 0.3, worst case right now, okay? Worst case, we lose 0.3, roughly. But that's the trade. It's a bit of a low R. As I said, this was my lower preference. I didn't really like, I don't have as much hype for this trade as I do for Bitcoin, but we'll see how it plays out, right? Bitcoin, looking at this now, looks like it's had its expansion candle, but it may just be expanding again. We can end up taking an entry here. So we can do that. Burma daily bias in Euro USD are mixed, more bullish, correct? No, I think I'm more bearish than anything. The daily needs a retracement back to this fair value gap. The 4 hour hasn't. Oh, I guess it's took lows here, so it needs a retracement. So the 4 hour is technically kind of a little bit bullish, but still overall bearish. The 2 hour forming an imbalance. The 1 hour just kind of chilling. I'd say it's still bearish, Rodrigo, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, if you're on TikTok and you want to see the full stream, just go to the link in my bio. Click the Discord, and then you should see an announcement for the stream there. We are currently in a trade. Do I ever take 2 trades at the same time? Not really, unless the pairs aren't correlated at all, right? So imagine if we trade GBP JPY, we wouldn't take the same trade in the same direction on GBP CAD because we're just doubling our risk, right? And even against it, we wouldn't take a trade there. So we were looking in the private stream at taking a trade on GBP CAD and Bitcoin, and that would be perfectly fine because I don't see much of a correlation between those two pairs. The only difference would be I'd risk 0.5% on each one. So if I was to take 2 trades or more than 1 trade at the same time, rule number 1 is make sure the pairs aren't correlated in any way at all. And rule number 2 is just risk 0.5% on each. That's what I would do. GCAD looks like it's fueling up to continue down, I think. It may have had just a small retracement there, but I think it's due this push down still. We haven't took liquidity out yet, so we still got to at least come and take this out. When we take this low out here, then we can look at managing again. Same thing applies to this area down here. Now the risk to reward ratio is a bit low, which is annoying, but these are the free management spots. So we got full TP being this low down here, right? We've got management spot number 1, which I think we'll just move our stop loss a little bit somewhere, right? Then management 2 is when we're going to probably look to go break even and close half, which would be 0.7% here. So we close half, get 0.35, 0.4% from that, go to full break even, then we're risk free. So it is a bit of a slower, lower R trade, but I don't mind taking it because it does kind of fit my criteria. Now, as I said about 5 minutes ago, if the 30-minute, this candle here, does randomly end up pushing all the way back up to here and closing inside this imbalance, we will close the trade at a 0.3% loss, okay? Which is a third of what we originally risked. Be like 0.35, won't it? But yeah, let's see how this trade goes. I do still have high hopes for this. We haven't took liquidity out yet, so no retracement is due properly yet, right? We could take this one out, but I think we might just push down to here. If we go up to the 30, to be fair, that is a 30-minute low. We'll see how it goes. But as I said, I've got high hopes for this trade still. How do you know? Have you considered Kelly criterion for position sizing? No. I just risk 1% per trade, or 0.5% if I'm taking 2 trades at the same time. How do you know correlated pairs? So correlated pairs just have the same currency in, right? There's a thing called a base currency and a quoted currency. So the base currency is a currency that's at the start. So for example, GBP CAD, the base currency is GBP, the quoted currency is CAD, right? So if we trade GBP CAD and we trade another pair with one of those currencies in it, that will be correlated in some way. For example, if we take a trade on GBP USD and a trade on EU USD, we're either doubling our risk or hedging our bets, right? USD Swiss franc, the same one because it's got USD in it. Whereas if we took a trade on GBP USD and I don't know what some other one, Euro JPY, right? They may not have as strong correlation as normal. Now they might still be kind of correlated because they'll still obviously be affected by the USD, but less correlated than GU, EU, and USD Swiss franc and USD JPY. You can see how correlated these pairs are, right? These are 2 base currencies. So USD JPY and USD Swiss franc are USD is the base currency of both of those pairs, and you can see how correlated they are. Like they're literally just moving in the same direction. Little tiny details different, but most of the candles are the same. EU and GU, same story, right? Very, very similar. All right, let's see how this trade goes. Looks like it's fueling up to continue down now. Hi, do you have a video about time frame alignment? I do. It's in the course though. I can make one. I think, to be fair though, I've got like 3 live lectures. One of them is 4.5 hours. 2 of them. I've got 4 live lectures. 3 of them are in one video, which is like 4.5 hours long. The other one is like on a live stream from the other week, which is like an hour and a half long. If you watch both of those, you should be able to answer that question and more. It's definitely in one of those, but there's no like specific video for it. Would you say USD JPY was a valid entry for buys after it swept the lows on the 5-minute? Here, maybe. It's a little bit... No, it's not at all. There's these IFEGs right here. Sorry, these fair value gaps, which are now IFEGs. At the time of this one, you know, we could have just respected this and continued down. On the 5-minute, did you ask? Sorry, I thought I was on the 5. If we invest these two, yes. But then obviously we also have the 15 going against us there. But other than that, yes. Swept the lows. On the 15, to be fair, that's a good question, Payne, because we do have AMD here. So this move is more like an expansion move than anything. You wouldn't have anticipated this as much as you would have anticipated this move down right here after this accumulation and stuff like that, right? So you wouldn't have really anticipated this, to be fair. So honestly, now that I'm looking at it properly, there's fair value gaps on the 5, which took ages to inverse. There's fair value gaps on the 15, which took way too long to inverse, right? There's no consolidation before the big move, which means we weren't technically supposed to have a big move. Typically, we'd just have a consolidation first. So I wouldn't actually say this is a good trade. GBP CAD is just chilling right now. Now, usually, you know, and I said this yesterday, I like to see a trade go straight up or straight down. Right now, you could argue it's consolidating, but you have to remember it's on the 15-minute time frame, right? We're not going to see an instant move straight down. It's going to take a few candles, right? So be careful with that. Hey guys, if you're on the TikTok live stream and you want to watch me trade, just go to the link in my bio. Man like Zhang. Yo Zhang, how's it going? Bitcoin USD melting. Jeez. That's crazy. What is that? What has caused that? Nothing. Oh shit, it's Canadian CPI as well, isn't it? And we're trading CAD. If we check this, it should be bearish, hopefully. Yeah, it's bearish. Right, that's good. At least we've got fundamental confluence here. Right, we've got fundamental confluence for the trade. Should continue down. Hey Sharon. This is a very slow start. The reason for this, you know, you got to remember this is the 15. It's going to be a bit slower. Bitcoin's melting. Gold is melting. GJ's flying straight up. We got the IFG here. It's against the bias, but I think someone said this before. C. Smith. Are you still here, C. Smith? You know, it could be playing out here, but I'm waiting for this. Now, honestly, guys, in about an hour, if this still hasn't played out in about an hour, we're going to leave it there and just, call it off stream, right? We'll see how it goes off stream, like we did with that gold trade we took the other week. So if that ends up taking its time, that's what we're going to do, right? Because it is the 15. You got to remember it might be slow. Might take a few candles first. But we do have bearish confluence with that CPI release. Should make us a bit bearish. Ended up taking it as I was in a sell and closed as I thought it was going to inverse. Yeah, that makes sense. I think there's a few people in the Discord group who were in sells as well. Who may have got took out now. This looks like it's a GBP move. Do you think GJ will reverse after taking London highs? It may do. I think that makes sense. It makes sense too, which will probably be over here. It reverses after taking every high. I don't think it will just continue straight down unless we get an IFEG. That's what you have to do. Don't try and predict that. One, it's going to come all the way up to here, and two, when it does come up here, it's going to completely reverse. When it takes a high, it will reverse after doing so, right? Back to a fair value gap. So all you have to do is go, we took this out, we need a retracement first, catch these moves up. Then if we inverse a fair value gap on the way down, then you can predict a move back down to the liquidity point, right? Look at 30. On what? Ah, shit. The 30 has closed back inside here. Right. Okay. That's annoying. The 30-minute has closed back inside, so it doesn't really give us much confluence for a continuation to the downside. So we are going to need to manage this trade now. We've just took a high on a 5. Let's see how we react to this fair gap on the 5-minute. Looks like we got a nice little AMD on the 5 here, respecting this. If we inverse this, we can hold the trade, right? If we respect it, we're going to close the trade. But now we need to kind of start looking at closing, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to fully put our stops at this high right here. Just let it do its thing, right? And we're going to look for reasons to get out the trade, right? Because I think we might be able to, if we have a 5-minute AMD playing out here, we could end up getting out too early. If you're on TikTok and you want to watch the stream, you want to see actually us taking these trades, right? Let me flip my camera. Is that a thing? We are currently in a trade right now. If you want to see this trade being taken and managed live, go over to the YouTube, which is in my bio, okay? Let me just manage this trade. I think, we got to wait and see how it reacts to this anyway, because we've got a decent setup right here on the 5. If we end up validating that after we get out, I will be a bit annoyed. But we've got stops above this now. We've got stops above here. We're going to look for reasons to get out. If we do end up, oh wow, pushing up here. But worst case, it's about 0.5%. But I think we can get a win or break even from this. We need to tap back into this and bounce here. So worst case now we lose 0.5%. It is just that 30. The fact that the 30-minute has closed back inside obviously gives us confirmation there that we're not going to continue down. So we should actually close the trade like down here. But I think we might come back and test this fair value gap once we validate it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, this is unmitigated. We can just validate this fair value gap without pushing up too high. You know, we can then wait for price to come back into it. Because we just took this high out here, we do need a retracement. You know, we've got a lower time frame AMD basically is what I'm saying. If we come back and respect this imbalance, we'll close the trade there at like a 0.1, 0.2. Right? And this looks like a Doji 5 as well. If we inverse this 5-minute fair value gap, right, what we can do is then just hold the trade. Or what we can do is layer in and just take a 5-minute entry and just scrap the whole idea of a 15-minute, you know, proper move down. Well, let's see how we react to this imbalance now. We have just validated it. We've got a nice little bearish candle here. We've got a 5-minute with no bottom wick, which is beautiful. So that should at least come down and make that at some point, right? Probably, hopefully, inverse this 5-minute imbalance. If we tap and close back inside it, or inverse a 1-minute, like if we push down really quick and form a 1-minute fair value gap and then inverse that, we'll just get out the trade, right? But if you're on TikTok and you want to see me taking and managing this trade and other trades live every single day, just go to the link in my bio. It's completely for free. Looks like we are going to try and tap back into this. We're going to go down to the 1-minute now. This is also a 1-minute low. 1 minute's just gap down with no top wick, so should flip and make that. There you are. You just seen that happen. As I said it. Where is the best place to start? To start what? Learning to trade? Definitely the free Discord and these live streams and the free crash course as well inside the Discord. Excuse me. We can safely push down now. This is the first minute on the 5 as well, or second minute on the 5. Now, what we want to see here is a 1-minute fair value gap form. If we can get a 1-minute fair value gap form, and then we inverse that, we can use that as sign to get out the trade full stop completely, right? Because it's a sign that we're respecting the 5, therefore what we're looking out for isn't going to play out. Am I affiliated with EOS? No. I'm not affiliated with anything or anyone. Right, all we need to do now is validate this 1 minute. If we can validate this, that gives us a lot of confirmation, a lot to play with really, because we can use that as confirmation to then get out the trade. Where's the chart? The chart is on my Discord, on my YouTube stream. I'm looking at GBP CAD right now, mate. Very small imbalance here. We may end up just completely invalidating it. Hopefully not. Right, if we close above that, before we inverse this, we're going to get out the trade completely. But we're on to the second minute. So this is the second to last 1 minute candle that we need to push below here, right? We need it to push below here and get a close secured below this fair value gap. If we can do that, we can hold on to the trade, keep our entry. If we don't, we could be looking at our first loss in 14 days, which will be like 0.1 or 0.2%, right? So now our stops are here. Just for safety, I'm going to move it up here, but it's going to be based on the close of this, right? But we're going to, just for safety, we're going to move it up to here. So we got a soft stop loss at the top of this imbalance. We have a hard stop loss at the top of that high up here. That 1 minute isn't looking good. We got the final 1 minute candle. Hopefully we can push right through now. Looks like we are trying to inverse this now. Right, this might be us took out here. Have we got news? No, we don't. Right then. 0.3% loss this will be. If we do end up closing above. So we gotta... Oh, shit, we just took us out there. 0.3% loss. First loss. Yeah, that's took me out there. 0.3% loss. First loss this month. Fair play. Fair play. This is moving wild. First loss of the month. 0.3% is that. So we got in. We got out at like what? Yeah. So we were risking about 0.3. No, 43. Sorry. And got out with 16. The 0.3%. A lot of people have took a 0.3% loss today as well, actually, haven't they? That reminds me. GBP CAD. Bearish bias. We took a sell. We had like a 1.2 R. It was a loss, 0.3%, which is the first one in a while, unfortunately. And now we reverse straight back down. Great. Minus 0.3. Wow. Just took out liquidity. We have just became liquidity, right? For fuck's sake, man. It is definitely moving funny today. Bitcoin. Madness. GJ. Madness as well. What is going on here? Like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. We took that loss on the chin. Only 0.3% as well. You know, this is how we're able to keep our losses small. By good trade management. So like up the stream, we took this on the chin. How can I get a journal like yours? If you do actually want a journal that looks exactly like this, all you need to do is go onto the stream on YouTube, and if you look in the description, you can just get my journal, right? Click file, make a copy, and then save that down wherever you want it to be saved, right? And then you have that's your own copy there that no one else can edit. But yeah, like up the stream, guys. If you haven't already, like up the stream. Took that loss on the chin. We move on to the next one, right? Don't all play out. But this is where the probability plays out in your favor when you execute your strategy consistently, without failure, without doubt, you know, without doing anything wrong. GU could be lining up for sells. I think that was the move before, wasn't it? Or buys, sorry. EU pushing straight down. USD Swiss franc is bullish. Wow, this is a great setup for against our bias. What do you say to Euro USD? It's mixed but more bearish, I'd say. Bitcoin. Gold. Gold's got an IFG there. Swept the lows. Wow, this GJ is crazy. We could take a 1 minute AMD on GJ if we get that, I think, right? Sweep all these highs. That could be the play, right? That's still bearish. Looks like we're going to get the 5 minute IFG on GBP CAD. Oh man, that is so annoying. We could take a trade on this again. But I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, you could say the 4 hours bullish. Daily still bearish, but 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute still bullish, to be fair. So we could do that. If we got a 5 minute IFG here, we could take this trade. Add an alert to that. I know I saw an entry in GBP JPY, but I didn't enter because I thought it wasn't that safe due to fair value up that was in the way. 1 minute Euro USD. What do you mean? Would you go like EU or GJ? Right, we're gonna set an alert on GJ. If we get something like this, I think we could take it. It'd be pretty nice. GU, EU, all similar stories really. Euro USD is entering a daily fair value gap. That is correct. Bitcoin, gold, USD Swiss franc. See, we're getting beautiful setups, just literally completely against the bias. Right, guys, if you're watching on TikTok, we're going to move now to YouTube completely. So if you want to see me actually taking these trades and you want to see my chart and see me actually taking the trades and managing the trades and you want to get access to the journal and stuff, click the link in the bio. You know, it says it right here, full stream in bio. Click that and you'll get taken to my YouTube stream. But that's it, guys. We're going to leave it here on TikTok and move on to YouTube. See you all there. We never got it. Ooh, yeah, completely bounced straight up. This looks good on. If we can get something like this on GJ, I'd be really happy to take this trade. Something like that. Push up IFVG. We can take that on the 1 minute. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, wow. Never mind. Never mind. Wow. Never mind. Never mind. What's Trump saying? What is Trump saying? See, we're getting less fearful now. A week ago, it was like literally down here. Fucking hell. Melvin, are you still in this? Jeez, we just pushed straight down. Got the IFG here, but obviously could not have entered that. We could do this though, if we got to close below in the next minute. Because you could say this is bearish. The daily's the only thing bullish is the daily. We could take this if we get it, but I don't think we will in the next 40 seconds. When GJ takes the London low, I will take it by. What do you think of that? I think if that's your only confluence, it's pretty poor, to be honest with you. This could be good though. Let's see how this 5 minute closes. I think this is probably the next trade we're looking to take here. Something like this. A humble 1.2 I'd take. Could you break down USD Swiss franc? Why so bullish? Well, the daily's bullish, right? And I think also the weekly is. We've just been like, look at that. We need a retracement. We need a retracement, basically. That's why we need a retracement. But honestly, the 4 hours bearish, the 1 hour, 2 hour bearish, 30 minute, 15, all that bearish. The 5 minute could be closing with an IFG here. We have just took the liquidity though. And anything like below here is negative. So we need a close like here. We could take it. The 1 minute, oh shit. The 5 minute there took that low, so it does need to retrace. If we check the 1, if we validate this, we can use that as an entry point or an exit point if we inverse it. USD Swiss franc, it's mixed. The lower time frames are definitely bullish, are bearish though, so we can take this. Entry on EU. No, there isn't. I'm not in yet. Okay, looks like it was a good move to get out as early as we did on GC. See, this is the trade management, guys. USD Swiss franc. Oh, wow. Completely reversed here. What is going on in these markets? Holy moly. Two minutes left on this. Or did we inverse the 1? No, we're respecting the 1 minute. This could be a good sign. This could be a very good sign. I would not mind going for a humble. It's pretty low, that. I'd say a humble 1R, 1.1R. Not too bad. Not the end of the world there, right? Just a humble push down to the other side of this range. It is a very weird day today. I'm looking for a reason as to why it's happening, but I can't find one. Like, Trump isn't talking too much. EU expects US tariff. That's probably what that was then. EU expects US tariffs to remain as discussions make little progress. Yeah, there's no real trade against the bias here. One question on EU: would you take the new 5-minute fair value gap or the old? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you asking me here? If we inverse that, we could take the entry. If we inverse this, we could take the entry here. There is liquidity there though, and the risk to reward ratio way too low there. The best bet at the moment is just this, which we could get at any point. Not looking like we're going to get this entry here. Yeah, GU is against the daily Louis, but it's potential setup in 5 minutes there. Looks like this was a good call to get out when we did then, because we would be out the trade now. This low? Yeah. That's what I was thinking, but with this 1 minute fair value gap being respected, we can just use that as a continuation. Right. Let's see how this 5 minute closes. Right, we can take this because this tells us we need a retracement, which we got, right? And if we're respecting this, we can use that as a sign we're going to continue down to here. Stops up here. Makes perfect sense to me. Why not a bigger TP? Because honestly, I'm quite happy with this. You can go for a bigger TP, like you can go for all the way down here if you want to. But it's half free. You know, I would be very happy with a move straight down to here. Right, get ready for this, guys. It looks like we might be able to take this trade. Right, get my position ready. It's ready to be modified. $1.1R, pretty low. pretty low. Like up the stream if you haven't already, guys. Like up the stream if you're going to be taking this trade with us. Like up the stream if you're going to take this trade with us. Alright, 1 minute left. As long as we don't take this low here, we're fine. Plus, we have to kind of stay where we are right now, or we're not going to be able to take the trade because the risk to reward ratio will be way too low. Oh no. We can't take this if it's like down here, guys. We need a push up to here. We cannot take it. The risk to reward ratio is too low. We need the price to close up here for us. Right. Okay. As long as it's above here, we're fine. All right. We're in. Already flipped on it. Right. Okay, looks like it might go down now. Here we go. It's a very low risk to reward ratio. I don't mind taking it though. Just a humble 1R. Right, so 15, we are on USD Swiss franc. The bias is mixed, to be fair. We are looking at what is it, a sell, right? 1.03R. Right. That's that link, right? Yeah. Sweet. Right, let's see how this goes. Where are you managing risk? That is a very good question. It's going to be very hard to manage risk because the liquidity is here, right? So it's like, and it's a lot of trend line liquidity too, or like the accumulation like going up slightly, right? So here, managing the trade, I think we're not gonna take partials on this, right? We're just gonna be aggressive with our stop loss. That's it. We're not going to manage the trade by taking partials. We're just going to be aggressive with our stops, okay? If EU is looking good for buys, Payne, we can't take that because it's correlated. We can't take that because it's correlated. But two, it's good if it's looking for buys, if it looks like it's going to have buys, because it's correlated. So if that one plays out, this one will play out too. Now, the only thing we need really is the DXY to be bearish as well, which we should have kind of checked, I guess. It looks exactly the same. If we can get an IFG here in the next 3 minutes, we're good to go straight down on the DXY, which means USD Swiss franc is going to go down too. But I want a full TP from this. I want a full TP here. That's what I'm hoping for. And it's not often we take 2 trades in one stream. But I'm hungry. While we wait for this, why not? Let's play some fucking GeoGuessr. While we wait for this trade to play out, we're going to play some GeoGuessr. Whilst we do that, let me just set my alerts So we got alerts here and here. Co-op meal deal time. Don't tempt me. Right, so get ready for some absolute geography masterclass, right? We're going to get every single one fully correct. Let this trade play out. Just forget about the trade. This is what you need to do. Right, this type of shit. Just forget about the trade. Don't even worry about it. As long as you got your stop loss on, as long as you're not risking too much, you're okay. So where the fuck is this? This is obviously UK. Come on, I mean. What's that? Retail supplies. Philwood Green Business Park. Bunch of flats. This is obviously the UK. Where about though? That's the question. Where about? Where about is this? London? Bristol? I got an alert. We're going to ignore it for now. Someone said London, Bristol and Warrington. I mean, I think this looks like the, you know, not poor, but the poorer part. Like there's no city that I can see here. So it's not by a city. Maybe, you know. Business park. It's probably out the way. Let's do this. Shit. Oh, Bristol. Oh, fucking nice work. Gabriella. Definitely searched that up. Right. Mid-round check. Fucking get it in. Yes. Here we are. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 0.5. Right, what do we do now then? It's very hard to manage this trade. Very, very hard. I think what we can do is we can use 1 minute highs and just put it above here, which gives us half the risk. That, I mean, I'm not going to complain. We're not going to move like that to break even straight away. We got to give it a bit of leeway. So halving the risk, 0.5% risk in this trade now. Worst case, we end the day 0.8% down. Best case, we end the day 0.9% up. Right. And now we let it chill. We set another alert for here, so we know if it's pushing down or not. Looks like it is reversing. If we inverse this, we might have to get out. Let's just see how this goes for a sec. We got to monitor this trade before we can go back to playing GeoGuessr, right? Let's see how it reacts to this. It needed that retracement because it took out these lows quite quick as well. It needed that retracement. Right, okay. Looks like it's doing its thing now, yeah? We've got alerts set up here. And now let's go back to fucking GeoGuessr. Easy as. This is what you got to be doing, guys. This is what you should be doing. You know, not just stare at the charts all day. Now this looks rough. This looks like a rough place. It looks like the UK. But it looks rough. am I wrong or right here? This can't be the UK if we're driving on this side of the road. There's e-scooters. The Lecky scooters. This can't be the UK then, can it? It's impossible for it to be the UK. Electric scooters, that means EU though. Definitely in Europe. Poland, that's a bit of a shout. That is a shout. 2 people said Poland. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Where about in Poland? I think Warsaw makes the most sense, to be honest, because, you know, it looks quite built up for Poland. Check the number plates look like UK ones. They blur them out. Glasgow. Germany, Hungary. We're going to go... Or someone said... Germany, Hungary, right. We'll do here. We'll do like here. Lithuania. Fair. Fair play. Right. Mid-round check. Okay, looks like it's continuing down here. Bit of a gap up there, which is strange. Tucked the low. Left behind an imbalance. Now what we can do is we can look at going to break even here. Now we can look at going to break even. Let's do that. We're using the 1 minute to manage a 5 minute entry, which is a bit strange, but the only reason we're doing that is simply just because the 5 minute doesn't have much for us to manage. Now, if we invest this, we need to come and take out this high at least. Okay? Which makes sense to be break even. Actually does it, because if we take out the high, we'll need to retrace again. Tell you what, we'll set an alert for it, but what we will... Actually, fuck it. We're going to go hard break even here. Right, we're break even now. We are break even now. Looks like it's on its way to take us out. Let's invest this. We're fully break even. We're risk free on this trade now. And now what we need to do is set an alert down here and go back to GeoGuessr. It's literally as simple as that. Right? One more round of this, then we shut it down and wait for the trade. What the fuck? Well, there you go. That kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Chile. They also are holding Pepsi signs up, right? So definitely Chile. Definitely Chile. Mountains as well, lots of them. Near the... Yeah, okay. This is Chile. I've seen enough. Yeah, see? So close to that. Oh, fuck. We're break even. Oh well, we got out there. That took us out there, unfortunately. Now what we can do is we can study whether or not this was a good take profit. If this trade continues down, what we're going to do then is stop managing on the lower time frames when we get in on a higher time frame entry, right? If this trade does end up playing out. If it goes against us completely, goes to our original stop loss, we can use this as a reason to kind of continue managing trades on the lower time frame as well, right? GJ. Oh, wow. Beautiful AMD. Oh, I'm sad we missed that. Beautiful, look at that. Beautiful. GBP CAD, chilling. GU, chilling. EU, chilling. Bitcoin chilling. Gold's chilling. Could take a gold trade. I don't want to force anything though. Wow, this GJ trade. Look at this. We missed this. This is so annoying. Could have got in right there. Take profit up here. You know, manage the trade. Be break even now. Beautiful. Beautiful entry there. Beautiful entry. Unfortunately, we missed that. So what we're going to do is, honestly, we're going to call it a day here. We took one loss, one break even. Not the best result, but at least we're taking trades. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully you were able to make profit or avoid a loss today using these trades. But, you know, still, so far this month, we are up 3.6%, right? We've had our first loss in over 2 weeks, and it's only 0.3%. Let's go back to winning ways. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll try and catch a dub, and we'll see how it goes, right? We'll try and catch a dub. But yeah, before you guys go, very, very quickly, just give me 1 second. Right, so before you guys go, very quick, you know, we took one loss, one break even, but you know, usually like this trade was live, this trade was live, this trade was at the end of the stream, very, very end, like right now. But if you want to learn how to trade like me, all you have to do is click the link in the description. It takes you to tomorrow's stream. So go and do that now, guys. We're going to end the stream here. Thanks for your time. Have a lovely rest of your day. Make sure you're journaling all of your trades. If you want to join tomorrow's stream, all you have to do is click the link in the description, click the bell, and click the like button, and you get notified exactly when I go live. So just click the link in the description to tomorrow's free stream, click the bell, click the like, and you get notified exactly when I go live tomorrow. I'm live every single day, the New York Open, trading completely for free. If you want to download this journal, if you want a copy of this journal for yourself, go to File, Make a Copy. So you go on it, you go to File, then you go to Make a Copy, then you save it down wherever you want, right? That's it. So, bit of a rough day, but, you know, I'm pretty happy still. We're up 3.5% so far this month, and we're only halfway through, so it's a pretty good month. We'll see how it ends. Let's try and get that 10% mark, but either way, I'll see you all in tomorrow's stream. Like this stream, then go in the description, click the link, click the bell, and click the like button on tomorrow's stream, and you'll get notified exactly when I go live, right? That's it from me. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks for your time. It's been nice to see you all here. Hopefully we can see you all tomorrow.